When you think about the amount of judicial nominees that President Trump has made, but not just nominations that the Senate has confirmed, that Mitch McConnell has been able to move through the U.S. Senate on some of the tightest of margins. Remember, there's 53 Republican senators. Not all of them are the most conservative in the world, let's be honest. And then you've got the Democrats. And so when you put these margins up, I mean, you're talking about confirmation votes that are 52 to 48. That was the confirmation vote for the 200th federal judge nominated by President Trump that was confirmed by the U.S. Senate.
The 200 federal judges, Article 3 judges confirmed by the Senate, nominated by President Trump, is a remarkable number. I think that 53 circuit court judges is maybe more remarkable. 30%, almost 1 in 3 of every judge sitting on the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. As we say so many times, Jordan, that's the layer, that's the level where most of these cases are decided. Very few cases go all the way to the Supreme Court. Now, 1 in 3 judges, or nearly 1 in 3, was nominated by Donald Trump. And we can maybe get to this next layer later in the broadcast, Jordan, but there are also a number of circuit courts that have flipped control, and you can count them. 10 judges nominated by President Trump now sit on the infamous Ninth Circuit. Jordan, there's only 29 judges sitting on the Ninth Circuit. 10 of them were nominated by this president.
This is a big deal. This is a historic thing. You know, as judges determine more and more of our future, as liberal judges view their job as to be the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, or the Appropriations Committee, as they act more and more like legislators, pushing all this radical social agenda. The fact that Donald Trump is countering that and Mitch McConnell is countering that with people who simply believe in the Constitution. They're young men and women who are going to be on the bench for a long time. And this is where the fight is. It's on the federal bench. And Donald Trump is ready for that fight.
You're including in there the 2 Supreme Court nominees that get the most attention, Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. But then you go down the next level, and you don't hear a lot about all the Court of Appeals nominees. Sometimes there are a few that rise to that level. But even number 200, I think because of everything going on in our country that kind of subsumes the news, it doesn't get through as much as it should. And we don't all understand, as Stan was walking through, the ramifications of these numbers. So it's not just that there's 200 and you kind of just scatter. It's literally the fact that there's not another Court of Appeals vacancy to fill right now. There's 0 vacancies.
It's been 40 years since there hasn't been a vacancy on the Circuit Court of Appeals level. So even if you only look at it from a historical lens, it really is almost unprecedented that there would be no vacancies. And look, there wasn't like there was just a small number of vacancies to start. There have been 53 vacancies filled. And Jordan, let me just put a little context on what you said about the times in Washington, D.C. There have been what is known as cloture votes, which is basically the end to a filibuster. Ever since President Truman, there was an opportunity to invoke cloture votes. Jordan, if you add up all of the cloture votes that have been required on federal judges from President Truman up until President Trump, you have to multiply that by 5 times to get to the number that Democrats have required for President Trump nominees. So the number in and itself is amazing, Jordan, but you have had to take an overwhelming number of cloture votes, burn up Senate floor time. That is the level of commitment that Leader McConnell and Chairman Graham and Chairman Grassley have had to this measure.
The Democrats know this. The left knows this. The people on the other side of this with different judicial philosophy know this as well, that if you can get through in your first term to where you have no vacancies on the Court of Appeals, that is an unbelievable achievement. I mean, I don't use unbelievable lightly. It is actually unbelievable, that achievement, to be able to get that through at a time. Think about the time that's happening.
If you had told me, even just a few months ago, but certainly at the beginning of the Trump presidency, that there would be 53 circuit court judges confirmed and that there would not be a single circuit court vacancy across the United States of America, I would have told you were full of it.